I'm in the Black Country, about halfway along the metro route. Now that trams are back on the streets of Birmingham, I was prompted to make a video of the tram ride from Wolverhampton to Birmingham. It's a personal take on the route and places to get off and visit. I hope you enjoy it and find it interesting. And I'll apologise now for any errors, of which I've no doubt there are some.
St George's, the Wolverhampton terminus of the Midland Metro. Trams leave for Grand Central in Birmingham about every 7 minutes. They arrive over the Wishbone Bridge that straddles the Ring Road Island at the top of Bilston Street. Our tram has pulled up at the stop and passengers get off and others board, ready for the return journey. Our tram leaves St George's for the journey across the Black Country to Birmingham. First, we cross the junction with Piper's Row. Now, it's back over the Wishbone and off down the Bilston Road. First stop, just down the road, is the Royal, so called as it's near the site of the old Royal Hospital, now looking rather sorry for itself. As the tram runs down the Bilston Road, ordinary vehicles run alongside. The Dixon Street junction is rather complicated. Trams heading for Birmingham negotiate the traffic lights. Those coming from Birmingham join the carriageway and as the lights change, continue towards Wolverhampton. Travelling towards Birmingham, we leave the main road and join the old Great Western track bed, the next stop being Priestfield. This section of the route comprises 3 stops: Priestfield, the Crescent and Bilston Central. Leave the tram at Bilston Central, climb the stairs and you're in Bilston High Street. Complete with the Rose Garrard statue called Women's Work, a tribute to the 19th century metal workers. St Leonard's dates from 1090, but the current church has its origins in an 1826 rebuild. The town hall is now refurbished. Not far away is the bustling market and the adjacent bus station. We've returned to Bilston Central and now we're boarding the tram for the next stage of the journey. The tram leaves Bilston and passes stops at Loxdale, Braidley Lane and Wensbury Parkway. We'll get off again at Wensbury Great Western Street. It's about 400 yards to the centre of Wensbury. You pass Wensbury bus station, walk up High Bullen and arrive at the site of the market, closed today except for the pigeons. Wensbury is a typical small black country town centre. It has a clock tower, built to commemorate the coronation of King George V in 1911. The entrance to Great Western Street has an attractive border of shrubs. Great Western Street is the home of the Metro. The large building is the headquarters and maintenance facility, although this one must be beyond repair. Still, let's continue our journey through the Black Country. Continuing to follow the old Great Western route, there are a number of stops through West Bromwich to the Hawthorns. We'll get off first at Black Lake. It's like a little country halt in the middle of the Black Country. A disused branch of the Birmingham Canal has become home to some families of Canada geese and a coot. Continuing the journey, the tram slows down for the road crossing. The lights change, and off we go again. The traffic now resumes. You can walk all alongside the track here. Guns Village is the next stop. Here is Dartmouth Street. Lodge Road for West Bromwich Town Hall has an helter-skelter exit. The silence is only broken by passing trams. Eventually, the buildings of West Brom hove into view. West Brom is another place where it is worth getting off. The bus station is only over the road, complete with an Olympic torch holder. Change here for destinations all over the Black Country. On the High Street, the old head office of Kenrick and Jefferson is looking rather sorry for itself. Further up the High Street is the Town Hall. Returning, there is a sculpture dedicated to the teaching of John Wesley, a lot of which took place in the area. The ill-fated building The Public is now a sixth form centre. Along with the other Black Country centres, there is a bustling street market. How about this for an old-style billiard hall? Returning to the stop, there are some wheels, reminding us of its railway origins. We reboard the tram to continue towards Birmingham. The route, if you walk, continues its country park theme. White flowering bindweed is taking over. At times, you're walking above the trams. The last stop on this section is the Hawthorns. If you get off and climb the stairs to the road, then the baggage ground is in view, and on the other side of the road is the academy, where the young players learn their skills. The Hawthorns is the first stop that's shared with mainline rail. Trains depart to Dorridge via Snow Hill, and in the other direction to Stourbridge and Great Malvern. We're now on the Birmingham section of the route. The tram now runs alongside the mainline railway all the way to Snow Hill. There it enters the city streets. The terminus is in Stevenson Street, outside the entrance to Grand Central and New Street Station. We're getting off at the Jewellery Quarter, and looking over that hedge there is a cemetery, but more of that in a minute. You exit the station via the bridge over the main railway line. Leave the station and all the former houses on Vi Street are now jewellers, goldsmiths or silversmiths. There's even a Jeweller's Arms. The nominal centre of the quarter is the junction of Vi Street, Frederick Street and Warstone Lane, with its iconic Chamberlain Clock Tower, marking his tour of South Africa in 1902-1903 after the Second Boer War. It's here we find Warstone Lane Cemetery, and it's not the one we saw earlier. This Church of England cemetery dates from 1847. It's no longer open to new burials, and the chapel was demolished in 1954. Just a short walk along Icknield Street is the cemetery we saw earlier. It is Key Hill Cemetery. It is a non-conformist burial ground, opened in 1836. Joseph Chamberlain, a former mayor of Birmingham and father of Neville Chamberlain, is buried here. When you return to the tram stop, don't miss the Grade 2 listed urinal, known locally as the Temple of Relief. We're getting near to the centre of Birmingham now, but it's worth getting off at the next stop, St Paul's. The BT Tower in Lionel Street is much in evidence. The stop, though, is named after this church. St Paul's was designed by Roger Eakins of Wolverhampton. It was consecrated in 1779, with the tower extension and spire added in 1823. It is Grade 2 listed. Like St John's in Wolverhampton, it regularly has concerts and organ recitals. Anyway, back to the tram and on to central Birmingham. At Snow Hill, the tram travels on a grass track, passing modern office blocks. It's just the spot for an alfresco lunch when the weather allows. The mural is a copy of one that was lost when the old Snow Hill station was demolished. The tram now wends its way through a largely commercial area of the city. Leaving the Bull Street stop, there is a right-hand turn into Corporation Street. Passing Rackham's, it carries on and crosses the intersection with New Street. Another right-hand turn, and it's time to get off in Stevenson Street, outside Grand Central and New Street Station. There's only one thing left to do now, and it's cross over, get on the tram again and return to Wolverhampton.